What if I told you that the most common exercise recommended for poor leg circulation after 60 might actually be slowing down your recovery? Yes, even if you're doing it faithfully every day. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 5 adults over 70 has peripheral artery disease, PAD, and most don't know it until symptoms become serious. Poor circulation isn't just cold feet or swelling. It's a silent signal that your heart and arteries are under pressure. And if ignored, it can lead to slow wound healing, infections, falls, and, in the worst cases, amputation. After reading dozens of studies on aging and movement and listening to stories from older adults across the U.S., a clear pattern keeps emerging. The secret isn't just more movement. It's the right kind of muscle activation, the kind that triggers your body's built-in circulation system. One many people have never even heard of. You've been doing what they told you: walk more, rest your legs, maybe wear compression socks. But your feet still feel cold. The swelling's still there. You're still unsure on stairs. This video isn't here to scare you. It's here to empower you. Because there's one area of your body, sometimes called the second heart, that controls far more than people realize. And when it's activated correctly, the difference can be life-changing. Before we begin, leave a comment and let us know. How old are you? Where are you watching from? Have you ever been told to just walk more to improve circulation? We read every comment, and we're building this channel for you, not just for views. Ready to uncover the missing piece. Let's begin. You've probably heard this more than once. Just walk more. It's the safest, easiest way to improve your circulation. And on the surface, it sounds reasonable. After all, walking is natural. It's low impact. And it's been the go-to advice for generations. But here's what no one tells you. Walking doesn't fully activate the muscle system your legs depend on to pump blood back up to your heart. Why not? Because walking, especially the way most older adults do it, is often too gentle, too short-strided, and too momentum-based to trigger the deep muscle contractions that drive venous return. A 2021 study from the Journal of Vascular Medicine found that older adults who relied only on walking for leg circulation had no significant improvement in venous return unless their pace exceeded 3.5 mph, a speed most seniors can't or shouldn't aim for safely. In contrast, targeted muscle activation, what physical therapists call calf pump training, showed marked improvements in swelling temperature regulation and walking confidence, even without walking long distances. So if you've been walking regularly and still feel cold toes, swollen ankles, heavy aching legs, or worse, balance issues, it's not your fault. It's not a failure. It's a missing piece in the routine. Now it's time to fill in that gap, starting with 5 simple movements. These aren't TikTok tricks or trendy workouts. They're used in real surgical rehab protocols recommended by vascular specialists. And most importantly, they're designed for your biology after 60. Today, we're counting down the top 5 science-backed movements that activate your second heart and help restore healthy blood flow from your feet back to your heart. And trust me, movement number 1 will completely change how you think about exercise after 60. Shall we begin? Number 5. Ankle pumps. Wake up the second heart. Calf muscle pump seems too simple to matter. Let's be honest, ankle pumps look almost silly. Just sit and move your feet up and down. That's it. Most people see this exercise in a hospital or rehab center and assume it's only for people recovering from surgery. But here's what no one tells you. This movement isn't just rehab, it's biology. And it could be the one thing missing from your routine if you've been walking but still struggling with circulation. Inside your lower legs, your calf muscles act like a pressure pump. Every time they contract even just slightly, they squeeze the deep veins and push blood upward toward your heart. This is why doctors call the calf pump your second heart. But here's the problem. If you sit for long periods or only do low-effort walking, this pump weakens. Blood starts pooling in your ankles and feet, swelling increases, oxygen delivery drops, and your legs start to feel heavy. A 2020 study published in the Annals of Vascular Surgery showed that simple seated ankle pumps performed just 3 times per day significantly reduced lower leg swelling in adults over 65, even without any standing or walking. Participants reported less tightness in the calves, warmer feet, and a notable improvement in nighttime leg discomfort, all without medication or machines. If this muscle stays asleep, blood sits stagnant in the feet. That means swelling builds, wounds take longer to heal, and the risk of balance loss and falls increases over time. This is often the first domino in a cascade of decline, not because you're not trying hard enough, but because your circulation pump isn't switching on. Here's how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with feet flat on the floor. Lift your toes towards your shins while keeping your heels down. Then press your toes into the ground and lift your heels like you're gently stepping on a gas pedal. That's 1 rep. Move slowly with control. Do 20-30 reps 2 to 3 times per day while watching TV, reading, or after meals. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. This small movement is the foundation. It wakes up the calf pump. But to build momentum and protect your strength, we need to move higher up the chain. Number 4, seated leg lifts strengthen the thighs that move blood and build mobility. Looks too basic to matter. You're just lifting one leg while sitting in a chair. How could that possibly help with circulation? For many older adults, this movement feels too basic to be taken seriously. It's often brushed off as beginner level or not real exercise. But here's what no one tells you. This simple motion activates the exact muscle groups that walking often misses, especially after 60. Your quadriceps and hip flexors do much more than help you move. They compress the major veins in your upper legs, helping push blood back toward the heart, just like your calves do in the lower leg. When these muscles weaken, they can't help return blood efficiently. But here's the real kicker: walking doesn't train them well enough. Why? Because as we age, we tend to take shorter, softer steps, which means the thighs and hips never contract fully. So blood pools, stiffness builds, and everyday movements like climbing stairs or standing up become harder. In a 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, adults over 60 who did seated leg lifts with light resistance just 3 times a week for 8 weeks, improved walking speed by 28%, increased stair climbing ability by 45%, and reported less fatigue during daily tasks. Why? Because they retrained their thighs to support movement and blood flow. Letting these muscles weaken leads to trouble getting up from chairs, slower walking speed, higher fall risk, loss of independence over time. And when walking becomes exhausting, movement decreases, which makes circulation even worse. That's the cycle we're breaking. Here's how to do it right. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, back firmly against the seat. Keep both feet flat. Slowly lift one leg straight in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as comfortable. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower with control. Repeat 10-15 reps on each leg. Pro tip: keep your back against the chair. Don't lean forward. This forces your thighs and core to do the real work. Ready for more as you get stronger. Add light ankle weights or a resistance band. Even 1-2 pounds makes a difference. Muscles don't care how old you are, they respond to challenge. And stronger thighs don't just improve circulation, they stabilize your entire body. Next up, an exercise that combines blood flow, strength, and balance all in one movement. Number 3, calf pump walk with support. Sync balance and blood flow isn't walking enough. You're walking, you're moving. That should be helping, right? That's what we've been told. But here's the hidden truth: walking alone doesn't train your calves to respond in real-life moments like stumbles or slips. Most older adults walk at a pace that's gentle, sometimes too gentle to trigger meaningful circulation or challenge their balance system. This next movement changes that without requiring long distances or high impact. Your calves are mechanical pumps. Every time they contract, especially when you push off the ground, they squeeze the deep veins in your legs, propelling blood upward against gravity. But just walking isn't enough. Because most people don't pause at the top of the motion where the contraction is strongest. By adding a slow, controlled heel raise and a brief pause, we train your calves and your nervous system to fire together, which is exactly what your body needs to catch itself during a fall. This is where circulation and fall prevention overlap. A landmark report from the National Institute on Aging identified calf strength as one of the strongest predictors of independence in older adults. Seniors with stronger calves had fewer falls, better balance scores, and were less likely to transition into assisted living. It's not just about walking more, it's about walking smarter. When your calves weaken, blood pools, swelling increases, oxygen delivery drops, reaction time slows. That's when a misstep becomes a fall, and a fall becomes a major turning point in independence. You don't need to fear falling, but you do need to train for the moment it might happen. Here's how to do it. Stand behind a chair or countertop and lightly hold on for balance. Rise slowly onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Pause at the top for 2-3 seconds, looking straight ahead, not down. Lower slowly over 3 seconds. Start with 10 reps and gradually work up to 20-25. The key is the tempo, don't rush it. That pause trains your calves and balance together. This movement rebuilds ankle stability, strengthens the calf pump, and retrains your nervous system all in one simple sequence. Let's keep climbing. Next, a movement so powerful for fall prevention that some doctors call it the sixth vital sign. Number 2, single leg balance. Hold the vital sign. No one's testing, it's just balance, or is it standing on one leg might sound like a simple balance drill. Something your physical therapist might throw in at the end of a session. But here's what no one tells you. This one movement is one of the strongest predictors of future falls mobility and even lifespan after 60. Yes, lifespan. And yet hardly anyone practices it because it looks too basic, too easy, too not real exercise. Let's change that. When you stand on one leg, your ankle, calf, hip, and core muscles must all activate together to keep you upright. But more importantly, they must stay activated, not just fire once. This creates sustained contraction, which keeps the calf pump engaged longer than in walking. And that means more blood flow, more oxygen delivery, and a more responsive nervous system. Plus, your brain is constantly adjusting to keep you steady, training your proprioception or your body's internal GPS. That's something walking simply can't replicate because you're never on one leg long enough. A large population study referenced by the National Institute on Aging found that adults who could not hold a single leg stance for 10 seconds were 3x more likely to fall in the next 12 months, 2x more likely to suffer a serious mobility loss, and had a higher all-cause mortality risk over the next 7 years. Why? Because balance decline is often the first symptom of nervous system aging, and it shows up before people notice weakness or pain. When balance goes, here's what often follows. Movement becomes cautious, circulation slows down, confidence drops, activity levels shrink, muscles weaken, and the risk of a single fall skyrockets. It's a silent spiral, and once it starts, it's hard to reverse. But with just 60 seconds a day, you can interrupt that spiral. Here's how to do it safely. Stand next to a sturdy chair wall or countertop. Lightly rest one hand on it for balance. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just an inch or two off the floor. Hold for 20-30 seconds, breathing normally. Repeat 2 rounds per leg. As you improve, reduce hand support. Eventually, you'll hover your hand above just in case. You're not just training your balance. You're retraining your nervous system, and that changes everything. Ready for the final movement. It's the one surgeons around the world trust most, and it might be the single most effective circulation exercise after 60. Number 1, standing calf pump. Hold the most powerful circulation exercise you're not doing. Just rise on your toes. Sounds too easy, right? It looks like nothing. You're just lifting your heels and holding. That can't possibly change your circulation, right? That's what most people assume until they see what it does inside your legs. Because this one move is the number 1 most prescribed exercise in vascular rehab protocols after leg surgery. Why? Because it doesn't just help circulation, it drives it. Your calves aren't just muscles. They're hydraulic pumps. When you rise onto the balls of your feet and hold your calf muscles, squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and create pressure, pushing blood upward toward your heart against gravity. That hold is critical. It's what keeps the pump engaged long enough to overcome the effects of gravity, weak veins, and slow return flow problems that become more common after 60. And walking simply can't hold the pump long enough to create this effect. In a 2022 review published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, older adults who performed standing calf pump holds twice a day for just 4 weeks showed a 42% reduction in ankle swelling, a 23% improvement in walking endurance, and a significant boost in balance confidence. These results outperformed walking and traditional leg stretches without adding joint stress or requiring a gym. That's why vascular surgeons, physical therapists, and rehab teams around the world treat this as a cornerstone movement. When your calves stop pumping efficiently, blood pools in your feet, oxygen delivery slows, swelling and fatigue rise, veins stretch and weaken, and your risk of slow-healing wounds and balance loss increases. Over time, these small issues compound, and one misstep can become a hospital visit. You don't need that, and you don't need fancy workouts to prevent it. Here's how to do it. Stand behind a chair or countertop and lightly hold for balance. Place your feet hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet. Hold at the top for 3 to 5 seconds, breathing normally. Lower slowly over 3 seconds. Start with 8-10 reps and build up to 15-20 with control. The magic is in the hold. That's when your second heart is pumping at full strength. Unlike fast walking or step count goals, this move directly targets the system that keeps your legs alive, warm and working. And the best part, it's low impact, joint friendly, can be done at home, and it works at any age. You've just discovered the #1 movement that circulatory rehab teams rely on across the world. But the real question is, will you use it? Let's be real. Poor leg circulation isn't just an inconvenience. It's the start of a domino chain that can lead to things no one wants to think about. Cold swollen feet delayed, wound healing, pain that limits your activity, balance loss, fall surgeries, and eventually, a life that feels smaller, less free. But this video isn't to scare you. It's to prepare you, to remind you that your body still responds to movement, and even small exercises can trigger major change. You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need fancy equipment or perfect form. You just need to know which movements actually work with your biology after 60, not against it. Because the truth is, most decline isn't caused by aging. It's caused by underuse. And now you have the tools to fight back gently, wisely, and consistently. Your legs are not done. Your circulation is not fixed in stone. It's never too late to teach your muscles how to pump again. You've just learned 5 science-backed movements that do what walking alone can't. They wake up your second heart, restore blood flow, and protect your balance, the foundation of your freedom. But this isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something purposefully. Because the truth is, you can still grow stronger. You can still improve your circulation. And you can still take back control 1 rep at a time. Start small. Stay consistent. Even one of these movements done daily could mean warmer feet, steadier steps, and a better tomorrow. You don't need to move like you're 25. Just move like someone who wants to walk strong at 80. Your future self will thank you. If this video gave you clarity, strength, or even just a moment of, I didn't know that, then pass that value forward. Subscribe for more science-based, senior-friendly wellness tools. Tell us in the comments, which of the 5 movements surprised you the most? What's one you're going to try this week? Share this with someone who's been told just walk more. They deserve the full picture too. And remember, we read every comment. We create for real people, not algorithms. Together, we're building a community of strong, smart, and independent adults, 1 gentle rep at a time.